Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Out of Bounds. It is me, Joey P. Joe P's up here with my two best friends, Bogman and the Welsh, talking football, talking fantasy, having a little bit of fun here on the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and, of course, ring the bell for notifications. Week 18 is done. The regular season is done. We're on to the playoffs, but there's still a lot of drama, a lot of fallout from the season. We're going to break it all down. The Tyreek Hill drama. What does it mean for your keeper leagues? We're going to talk about Sam Darnold in a big spot coming up pretty short when all is said and done. Also, maybe the first week of the playoffs looks a little chalky. All the head coaches getting fired. All of it we're going to talk about in just a minute. Before we do, quick shout out here. The winner of the Jackson Smith and Jigba signed Seahawks helmet giveaway is Chandler. Could I be any more excited for this giveaway? Chandler, congratulations. Stay on the lookout. You are the big winner. So again, Chandler, sorry, Joey. Sorry, Ross. You came up a little short, but if you want to win a chance to get a signed TJ Hawkinson Vikings helmet free, courtesy of our friends at pristineauction.com, all you need to do is head to fantasypros.com/contest, complete the form, and either download the Fantasy Pros My Playbook app, leave a review of the podcast, or follow us on X, Instagram, or TikTok at Fantasy Pros. The more actions you complete, the more entries you receive, and we'll be announcing the winner right here on the podcast. And if you're watching on the YouTube, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up. And if you are the big winner to get your prize, we're also on our Discord at fantasypros.com/chat. We're going to talk to some of the people too. Raise your hands on a Discord. We'll get you up here in just a moment. In the meantime, boys, I want to start out with the big game, which was kind of a big bust. I was on the Vikings, and this is why in-game live betting is so great. And Boggs, you and I are going to do a little in-game live stuff later in the week on Betting Pros for that first 4:30 wildcard game. We're going to be live on the BP channel, walking you through. If you were out there, you saw it was kind of getting compressed. The Vikings were in it. Failure after failure in the red zone. Sam Darnold looked like the old New York Jets Sam Darnold choking in a big spot. Now, granted, this is the biggest game he's played in the NFL, but it was not a good performance, and you could absolutely feel the mojo leaving the Vikings, and the second half, it was all Lions. So, again, this is why you watch teams when they come out, see if they fall flat, and if they do, you got to hedge your bets a little bit. But what'd you take out of last night? Is Sam Darnold a pumpkin now, or is it just a blip on the radar?
No, I think the Lions are really good. So I think this is a blip. I think they'll be able to rebound, and you know, I think they're going to go into LA and win. So I still like the Vikings. It was a bad game. Detroit has a lot of momentum. They get the bye. They needed it too. I mean, this is Detroit with 17 players on IR, I believe it is. I think the Browns, the Niners, and one other team, maybe the Cardinals, are the only teams with more players on IR than the Lions. And they just went out and dominated what is probably the second best team in the NFC. So Lions are really, really good.
Welsh, last night, obviously a great performance by the Lions. I do want to say to everybody, too, eventually when the Lions go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Chiefs, because that's obviously what's going to happen again, this year.
You got the script.
One of the things
Joe
I was always...
script.
Yeah, I have the script. It was already delivered to me by Roger Goodell in the offseason. But the thing is, I always talk about how the team that loses the Super Bowl next year is always like one of the two big favorites. And I always talk about all the reasons why. But one of the reasons I did not talk about all season was something that I just talked about with Andrew Erickson, which is when you go to the Super Bowl and lose, that means you had a really good year. That means everybody's coming after your coordinators. There's a good chance, even if the Lions make or win the Super Bowl next year, Aaron Glenn's probably going to have a head coaching job, possibly. Ben Johnson's going to have a head coaching job too. So all of a sudden, we're going to be, down two coordinators. And you saw what happened to the Eagles when that took place 2 years ago too. That is a tough thing to come back from. What do you think about the possibility of the Lions, really staying strong more than this year if they lose a couple of these coordinators?
Well, how about I know I'm going to make it about this, but how about the 49ers? They lost Saleh. Both of their previous coordinators are both head coaches right now. Not very good ones. Really great coordinators. Probably both shouldn't. I guess Saleh got fired this year, but McDaniel, he probably shouldn't have a job, even though they're going to keep him back. But yeah, I think that's a possibility. I'm not sure that takes anything away from them, though. I think this is the best team. I was on the Lions for this game. Their run game with Gibbs is ridiculous. It looks like Montgomery's going to be back. The coordinator stuff is a problem. The 49ers situation, they're old and they're massively injury prone. The Lions kind of have a situation like that, but it's not like just a bunch of old dudes getting hurt. It was, David Montgomery's little freak thing, Hutchinson freak thing, just normal injury based things. But I'm not sure I look into this as like, oh man, Lions are on the down tick because everyone's going to steal all their coordinators. Like, yeah, that's Ben Johnson's going to have a job, and Aaron Glenn very likely could as well. But I still think that like madman mentality of Campbell will never go away, and they will probably just bring within someone that has that same kind of Ben Johnson regime, and I think they'll be fine. It's massively talented. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is ridiculous. He's the only reason that game was watchable, and this game, what a disappointment it was to this Week 18, which was garbage. Everything about Week 18 sucked. Every game we were led up to this final game was going to be great. It stunk. It was Gibbs. There's only one thing that made Week 18 great, Joe. There's only one thing, and it was our dear Scott Hansen tweeting at FantasyPros to tell us that he loves us and he loves our site. Never forget.
That's
the
right.
Sweetest treasure in the world. Protect this man, Scott Hansen, shouting out Fantasy Pros in Week 18 was the chef's kiss. He's been a friend
of the show for a very long time. Scott Hansen knows what he's doing. He cares about his fantasy stuff. We got to get him on the show next year. I'm gonna go reach out.
Best job in the world.
He does. It's the job that if somebody asks me what's my dream job, that's it.
That's
eventually,
that's the one.
Eventually, I figure he retires. I don't know when. I don't know how long I'm going to be when that
You
happens.
work one day a week and you go out and you do the greatest thing of all time?
He works all week just for that. He knows everything going on. It takes a lot of preparation to look
I know.
that effortless. So he's working
the
all
only job I would work during Steelers games is Scott Hansen. That's it.
There you go. Fair enough. All right, let's get to our Discord listeners here. Father Man, you were patiently waiting. What's up, Father? How was your Week 18, and what are you looking forward to in the playoffs, buddy?
Mr. Man.
Oh, I'm good, man. I didn't have nothing going on Week 18, man. I just want to throw a hand up and get some interaction with y'all, dude.
There you go. There you go. So what are you excited about for the playoffs coming up here? What game has your eye?
I got my money all put in my bank account for my championship wins, whatever, and did pretty good on betting. That Lions-Viking game kind of killed me a little bit. I should have done like y'all, man, live bet it, but I took a chance on it, and I ended up in the negative a little bit, but that's all right.
That's all right. We live and learn. Luckily, I know I'm still very excited about all my Lions Chiefs shares that I have going into the Super Bowl. Lots of Lions Chiefs together, Lions to win, Chiefs to win, all that stuff I did in the preseason. 0 shares of the 49ers. 0, who are number 2 on the board day after the Super Bowl. Run to bet it as soon as you possibly can whenever you have a feeling about those odds. Let's talk about the playoffs. The Broncos put a butt kicking on whatever the Kansas City Chiefs decided to play yesterday, but how dangerous are they, Welsh? This is a team, Patrick Surtain, a hell of a player, maybe defensive player of the year. Surtain had a great season. Bo Nix had a great season. Not one, but 2 rookie quarterbacks are in the playoffs, which is pretty incredible stuff. Which I'm sure is going to put no ridiculous expectations on the guys coming out of this year's draft at all. Couldn't possibly happen. But let's talk about the Denver Broncos. They have to go into Buffalo, and it seems like a lot of these matchups are punching up. It seems like, the Ravens, the Bills, some of these teams right now, it feels very chalky. I know there's going to be an upset somewhere. I just don't know where it is, and I don't think it's the Broncos. Do you?
No, I didn't know where you're going with this because I thought you were focusing on Broncos, and then you turned it into a bigger thing. I do not think the Broncos.
I start here, and then I take it over
Well,
there,
then you brought it right back to the circle. Do I think the Broncos are someone that's dangerous? No, I don't. They have absolutely no run. Bo Nix is great. I mean, I'm trying to be dismissive. They're in the playoffs. It's great. Cortland Sutton has played great. Bo Nix, phenomenal, and they've got a defense to work with. So all of these teams are in play, but do I think they're a force and they're an upset waiting to happen? No, they have absolutely no running game. And then if you're looking at the schedule here, I don't know, what do you consider? Do you consider because what is the favorite? Tampa Bay's a favorite here. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Commanders take that. I suppose if I were trying to find an upset, it would be the Commanders over the Bucks. But I do agree, it's kind of chalky. I don't see a lot of parity coming out of this weekend. And that Bucks-Commanders game, that's probably, if anything, more of a toss-up for a lot of people. So I'm not sure either one of them would feel more like an upset. But that's where I would say the upset's happening. Bogman, I'm sorry, your Steelers. That's a tough matchup. I don't think your Steelers are coming out of that with Rusty.
Neither does he.
It's a rough one.
We talked before the show. He doesn't think it. And, Washington, again, great story. Jayden Daniels, 12 touchdowns this year. 12 touchdowns in the fourth quarter or in overtime. That's incredible. Someone was putting out a meme and it made me really angry and saying, well, Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels stats are pretty close. I'm like, contextually, they're not, because Jayden Daniels is making big plays in big spots and winning games, and Caleb Williams is holding the ball and running around.
Can you imagine comparing those two right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
look, Caleb Williams still has a ton of talent. He needs a new
Sure.
coach. He needs a lot of refinement. The talent is in there. But yeah, you cannot hold the ball for 8 seconds every play and expect to not have, 13 of those players laying on top of you by the end of the game. He gets hit too many times. He takes too many sacks. Jayden Daniels getting rid of the ball. He's running. He's making the plays when he needs to. There's no comparison between those two this year.
Did you guys see that movie? I actually haven't seen it, but there's this movie called Gran Turismo, and the theory of it is it's based on a true story about a kid that played the Gran Turismo video game and then was recruited to do like F1 thing, Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is the Madden of Gran Turismo. He plays like a person that played Madden their whole life, running backwards 70 yards and throwing backwards Michael Vick passes and thinking they're going to get completed. He plays like he was just recruited out of Madden. It's crazy watching him. Lots of talent, great ball he can throw. But Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams, it's not remotely close.
It's funny. I was approached to play the lead in Paperboy, the movie, too, based off the Nintendo classic, where it's a tough thing. You're trying to get from Monday all the way to Sunday, and you've only got so many papers, and they're coming after you.
And in the
from
middle
different
of
angles.
that whole neighborhood where you throw your papers, there's just extravagant bike ramp thing that you have to go through and get all the bonus points.
Why is that? What is that at the end of that game? I don't understand. And on top of it, some of the houses where you deliver papers, there's that crazy lady running out of the house chasing you in her bathrobe. I'm delivering your paper, lady. What is your problem? I don't understand what her deal is. But anyway, look for that on Netflix later this year, because Netflix will make pretty much anything. Boggs, I look at the Eagles to stomp a mud hole in the Green Bay Packers. I do feel like the Baltimore Ravens are in a spot here. Pittsburgh certainly not coming into the playoffs with any momentum. So do you think this is going to be another bad look here? And if it is, if the Ravens do put a hurting on the Pittsburgh Steelers, do people start to reevaluate the whole Mike Tomlin thing and say, maybe it's just time to make a change?
What do you mean people?
Well, you. I guess you.
No, I don't at all, because look at this roster. How does this roster get into the playoffs is my question. The defense is strong. The offense
is pretty good.
Is awful. It's crazy-ass George Pickens, Najee, who has no idea where to run, and the corpse of Russell Wilson, and they still made the playoffs. So how are people knocking Mike Tomlin for this? This is a good coaching job for him to get this team and this roster even into the playoffs.
But is it worth
Yes.
Hold on. Is it worth wait. You didn't even hear the question.
Yes.
Is it worth getting into the playoffs again to be ousted in the first, rather than take a year and groom the future quarterback of Justin Fields at 26 years old? No. I know you're going to say not for long. It's your favorite thing to say. You say it every show. I understand. You always say it. But when do you pivot and say, okay, we don't have Ben Roethlisberger anymore, and one quarterback is 10 years older than the other guy. Let's give him a full season to evaluate and see if this is our guy. Because if it's not, you're right back out there in 2025 looking for a quarterback, trying to sneak your way into a playoffs with 9-10 wins, and out in the first round again. That's not success.
What the hell are you talking about? Justin Fields has had 4 seasons of nothing. Russell Wilson is old.
It's with the Bears. Sam Darnold had 4 seasons of nothing, and he just won 14 games.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know what to do with this conversation, Joe.
I'm having a great time.
This team is in the playoffs. They should not be in the playoffs. The quarterback is an enormous problem, right? I don't like Arthur Smith. I hope that somebody signs him to be their head coach. That would be amazing to me. Get a new OC in here. George Pickens is a head case. So the roster needs to be fixed. The con artist needs to work his stuff this offseason. Omar Khan, the GM, because it's just, this is not a good enough roster to be in the playoffs, and they're in the playoffs.
Bogman will not talk bad about Mike Tomlin. He'll talk, it's bad about everybody else.
Like
and to
Mike
his
Tomlin.
credit,
He's a good coach.
Mike, I kind of agree. Mike, I wouldn't want
Bill Belichick's a great coach.
Steelers.
They have a shelf life. Eventually, it all comes to an end, and you have to find a new voice and a new way of doing things. And how many wide receivers are going to go through with the same nonsense where they all, I don't care if it's Antonio Brown or Martavis Bryant or Plaxico Burress or George Pickens, there's something in common with all these guys, which is,
Joe, you don't want the Steelers to fire
times.
Mike Tomlin, because they better hire Mike Vrabel before the Steelers fire Mike Tomlin.
Don't you dare take my head coach away.
Because if they fire Mike Tomlin, Robert Kraft's first call is to him. By the way, what jobs that are available can Mike Tomlin not cherry pick if he is
all
fired
of them
by the Steelers?
I'm not
Every
saying he
single one.
should be fired. I'm just saying there comes a time where the mediocrity in an organization like the Steelers, just like with the Patriots, and I granted the Patriots were missing the playoffs, so it's different scale. You're making the playoffs, but when do you lay out a plan to do more than just backdoor your way into playoffs? That's all I'm saying.
Joe, tell me one person that didn't pick the Steelers to finish dead last in the AFC North this year. Tell me who that was. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do that.
I don't know. This is going to be the front of the show for the rest of the day. No, look, you're. I don't think most people did. I think most people picked the Cleveland Browns to finish dead last, to be honest.
No,
So
they
I'll
didn't.
Take that question.
They didn't. They were picking the Steelers to finish last.
Is that Skip Bayless again?
The thing that I
he's
heard
on it again, that guy.
Oh, whatever.
I heard he offered you $1.5 million not to finish last.
And I got it.
You
I'll
took
take
it
that
and ran.
1.5.
No wonder
That's
why
right.
you're sitting funny today. All right,
right.
Let's get to more of the playoff talk here. Also, in this playoffs, looking forward here, you've got the Los Angeles Chargers, Houston. That feels like a Charger victory to me. Again, it's just like a lot of chalk going on here. And then Minnesota, LA. And look, going on the road to LA shouldn't scare the Minnesota Vikings. Welsh, do you think maybe the best thing for Sam Darnold was to get that bad pressurized performance off his plate and then looking forward here to the Rams? Because it's not like you're going into weather. It's not like you're going into a hostile environment with a huge fan base. It's LA. It's the Rams. And the Rams aren't exactly, I know they got to sit everybody, but, Cooper Kupp doesn't look very good. They're not exactly coming in hot.
Yeah, I suppose there's something to like getting your ass handed to you to be able to work off of like, this is what didn't work. And then you can take that over to this. But yeah, like their defense is not good on the Rams. There's been a little bit better. Obviously, they didn't play any of their offensive starters and they're going to have to stop there. But from a scheme perspective, I think the Vikings are at a great spot. Sure. Take a negative, turn it into a positive, take out your frustrations on the Rams. This might be the one I would say is the least likely to bounce back. If there was going to be like some trouncing, some surprise team, Rams beating the Vikings, I think there's no chance. I think defensively that scheme is too good. Darnold just had people in his face all day, taking stupid sacks, not getting, it's sometimes baffling to me when you look at like how you can't get both wide receivers open. If you watch that game, Jordan Addison was wide open by a million miles in the red zone right there, and he looked at him and just didn't throw. I'm not sure.
And Jefferson was open and he
was.
overthrew him. That was the problem. He just had no touch.
He's overthrowing everybody. TJ Hawkinson, Jefferson over here.
And
not
I do
throwing to
disagree
Addison,
with not taking the points there, taking the 3 that first time. Because I think what happened is they pressed more and it got worse the more they pressed. Take the 3. Let Sam Darnold get back to the bench, regroup a little bit. Okay, we had a productive thing.
That's the Dan Campbell effect right there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the Lions do to teams.
That's the decisions that you're waiting for Dan Campbell to make that he always screws up, and Dan Campbell didn't have to do it because Kevin O'Connell did it for him.
Yeah, and those are that's like the little thing that's not in the box score where it's like, yeah, these guys go for it. They either convert 4th down or they don't convert 4th down, and that's a good judgment of Dan Campbell. The other judgment should be the pressure that they put on teams knowing these guys will go for it on 4th and 4, that they won't take the points and you have to keep pace. That's something that we just don't put in the stat sheet of what the Lions do and what makes them so great. It's crazy. You know what? Hand up, in the offseason, Bogman put the Lions in the Super Bowl, and I was like, you're the dumbest person alive. What are you talking about? You're the smartest person I know. It's crazy. He said that, and I was like, no, that's not happening in this division. The Packers, the Vikings, the 49ers. Yeah, well, you had it. You're so smart, and you have it there. And they are like just the best NFC team on offense, on defense, and the pressure they put across the board. So that's that.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill, clearly the pressure has gotten to him. It's funny, Tyreek Hill has kind of had a charmed existence in the NFL. You start your career at the Chiefs where you're winning every year, going to Super Bowls, and then you want to get paid and they don't want to pay you. So you go to Miami and you put up 1,700 yards and 1,800 yards. And then the one year where you don't play all that great and your team doesn't make the playoffs, all of a sudden now you want out. Like, Tyreek Hill doesn't seem to be somebody who has a lot of perspective about careers and winning and losing. So finish this sentence for me, Welsh. Next year in 2025, Tyreek Hill is playing for blank.
Oh, let's go with. I kind of want to say the Kansas City Chiefs. I kind of want to say that he's going to be
funny
back
that you say that. That's
I've got it though. I've already got it. The Baltimore Ravens. And Bogman's going to hate it. It will be the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to want to go play with Lamar. You're going to have Derrick Henry there. You'll have Zay Flowers and Tyreek Hill with 2 tight ends. Book it. Lock it up. Tyreek Hill will be a Baltimore Raven next season. Now, the only question about this is, though, because this is just popping up today, there's some insinuation that Tyreek quit on the team. And, that is the most unwritten thing you cannot do in the NFL. Look at Devondre Campbell. He is shunned from the NFL forever. Mike McDaniel insinuated that he was told that Tyreek Hill was not available on a drive in the 4th quarter. And that ends up turning into him saying he wasn't going to play and he didn't want to play. And then right after, he says he's out. So I think it's a problem. And I wonder if teams are going to hold that against him. Probably not the Baltimore Ravens, though. He's going to be a Raven.
Well, the Commanders would be looking maybe for another wide receiver too to complement.
That's who I was thinking.
That was
playing
mine.
with Jayden Daniels, yeah, and also you get him out of the conference too if you're the Dolphins if you trade him to Washington.
Yeah, so. Get him out, get him to the NFC, something different there as he finishes his career. So we'll see what happens. I think the most likely answer is still the Dolphins. I just don't think he's going to go anywhere.
No,
I would love to. You know who and it'll never happen because it's in division, but I would love to see Tyreek and Josh Allen together. I think that would be
never.
Someone in the chat, someone in the Discord just said Buffalo that was.
But that's never going to happen, guys.
No, it's in division. It'll never happen.
No, it's Tyreek. There's issues there. It's a perfect Steeler wide receiver. He fits the mold.
You have to have a quarterback to throw to him.
He hasn't had one lately,
yes, you
so
do.
He's still fine.
All right. Speaking of which, everybody, too, don't forget you can always join our Discord at fantasypros.com/chat. It's free, it's fun, and you can be part of shows like this. Again, head over or just download the Discord app and join Fantasy Pros and be with us all season long because we've got a lot of great content going on with Dynasty, the NFL Draft, and of course, football, baseball, and betting pros as well. So join our Discord today at fantasypros.com/chat. Next up here, the coaches that are gone. 5 vacancies are now there. The Giants, not one of them, they keep the GM and head coach. And I'm not surprised. It's a very Giants thing to do. We don't like to make these rash decisions. I do think that the Giants are a quarterback away from being a 500 team next year. The problem is they're still probably the 4th best team in that division next year, regardless, unless they get some superpower quarterback that shows up there, which I don't think is going to happen. However, Gerard Mayo, as I've been talking about for weeks and weeks, you could see the worm turning, and when Mike Vrabel was talking to Woody Johnson, the Jets, that's when I knew Gerard Mayo's days were numbered. I said it the day I heard it. I said, well, there you go. This is called Mike Vrabel saying, well, if you don't give me that job, I might have to go to the Jets and work for Woody Johnson in the division. And 48 hours later, Gerard Mayo is gone, and he's not the only one-and-done coach. In fact, it happens more often than you think. Let's go back all the way to 2010. Since 2010, Hugh Jackson with the Raiders in 2011, Mike Mularkey with Jacksonville in 2012, Chudinski, this is like a who's who of I can't believe this guy was a head coach, Cleveland Browns in 2013 Jim Tomsula for your San Francisco 49ers.
Was crazy. That one was crazy.
And the very next year in 2016, Chip Kelly, San Francisco 49ers. So you guys had back-to-back one-and-dones. Don't forget about that, Welsh. Steve Wilkes, Arizona Cardinals 2018. Freddie Kitchens, Cleveland Browns 2019. Remember that one? Of course, Urban Meyer with the Jaguars, David Culley with the Texans, Nathaniel Hackett in 2022 with the Broncos, Lovie Smith with the Texans in 22 also, Frank Reich in 2023 with the Panthers, Gerard Mayo this year. So again, happens quite a bit. Doug Peterson also let go. However, how does Trent Baalke still have a job? He gets to hire all these coaches and fire all these coaches and keep a job. Bogman, how is this possible? What pictures does he have of the owner in weird positions? That's the only thing I can think of at this point.
He's got to have him. I mean, because how do you keep your job? This team has been awful. They have been making terrible draft choices. They've been awful signings. How much money they give to Blake Bortles, right? And then to Nick Foles. Nick Foles got so much money, right?
How do you keep a job after Urban Meyer? That's the thing.
After Urban Meyer, you sign Christian Kirk to a gigantic deal, right? It just the idiocy piles on top of itself, and nothing changes here. You're living in the twilight zone right now if you're a Jaguars fan. So I don't understand it at all. I know Welsh doesn't get it either. He had Trent Baalke in San Francisco for a while, going through all those one-and-done coaches that you were just mentioning, by the way. Yeah. So I just don't understand how this guy
that's
keeps
funny
his
you
job.
said that, Boggs, because if you go back, Trent Baalke, Tomasula, Chip Kelly, right?
Right.
Those are his. And then all the way then Urban Meyer, with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now Doug
And what do you
Peterson,
get 2
too.
years of Doug Peterson? Like it's just it's a terrible look to keep Baalke here. You should hit the reset button on this entire franchise.
How does that guy still have a job? How does Baalke keep getting jobs?
What
are we
He's
doing?
got to have
crazy.
pictures.
I mean,
he's got to have
Sean
something.
Conn must really love him.
Yeah,
Let's talk
he
about.
must. I don't get it.
Look, Mike Vrabel's gonna be the next head coach of the New England Patriots too, boys and girls. Don't think for a second.
God.
And Robert Kraft at the press conference today, did you see it? I have to tell you, it's all my fault. Gerard Mayo wasn't ready, and I put him in a position where he wasn't gonna be successful, and I feel
It was
just
when he called the team
awful
soft.
about it.
When he called the team soft, his days were numbered. That was it.
That was not
know.
good.
You know what the Jets should do? The Jets should do the funniest thing ever, and they should hire Belichick. That's what should happen. Belichick
Well, he's
should
too
go.
busy
North
right now,
Carolina
hanging out
hired
in college.
Belichick.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's all
They should
gone.
hire Gerard Mayo. That's what they should do.
They're
Don't
trying to
wanna
get
keep
better.
losing
Boggs.
games. So.
Trying to get better. Don't worry. I'm sure Matt Nagy will get that job in a couple weeks. I'm sure that's where they're gonna go. Right? Don't pretend like that can't happen, because it can.
Hopefully,
Let's talk about good feelings. Geno Smith cashed in $2 million. Cortland Sutton cashed in a couple $1 million, and Mike Evans with the moment of Week 18.
It was the
I'm
greatest
sorry.
moment.
This was a beautiful moment, and this is why I think Tampa Bay is going to be really hard to beat, despite the fact that maybe Washington has the best upset chance. You see that team celebrate over Mike Evans in this moment, and Baker Mayfield, and everybody pushing for this moment at the end of the game. This was the feel good. Like, they were all running out there and congratulating him. It was like they did it as a team, and those kind of teams are really tough to beat because they are actually teams, and they still feel like a redheaded stepchild in the NFL, in the NFC, because people still don't believe in them. They won the division 2 years in a row. Welsh, what were your thoughts on that moment for Mike Evans? Now, was it 11 straight years of 1,000 yards?
Yeah, tied Jerry Rice, my dear friend
Yeah.
Jerry Rice. I thought it was amazing. I will say this. Wasn't great look. Mike Evans was like super pouty. I don't blame him. It was $3 million. He was 5 yards short. He was sitting on the bench, just disheveled. Then they brought him in. He caught it. He exploded, but then also not just walked off the field, just left. And I was like, all right. And then after the game, they asked him about it. He's like, I'm going to go play blackjack. And I was like, ooh. Like, do I not like Mike Evans across the board? Like, everything he's doing is not great. You're banging a baby on the thing, then you leave. Little kid's trying to give him a high five. He just walks off. And he's like, I'm going to go play blackjack.
You didn't even mention the worst part, Welsh.
And he's
a Texas A&M Aggie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course.
That's right.
But the funniest thing online, though, were the people that were like, listen, this is how they start. They go, listen, it's great that Mike Evans got his money. But can we believe that the Buccaneers would put their season on the line, blah, 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 blah. They're just pissed off that they threw a pass. Yeah, well, because they were only up by 8 and they were leveraging their season for this. And it was like, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? This is $3 million for probably going to go, like, who in 10 years?
A really negative impact on that team.
Okay, but if they had thrown an interception and they return it and they tie, okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about this. But when 10 years from now, who do you think is going to be the greatest Buccaneer of all time? Warren Sapp came to mind, but it's gonna be Mike Evans. It's not like work done. Like, we grew up with like Warren Sapp and work done. It's like Mike Evans is gonna be the greatest Buck of all time. And it's like, yeah, let them rally around this player and get him his money. These people that were like, just really dangerous what the Buccaneers did. Shut up. Like, shut up.
Yeah, and they're in the playoffs, and everyone was happy for Mike Evans. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are sitting their quarterback for a $250,000 bonus to play Trey Lance, who they clearly didn't even care about because they didn't start him the week before or give him the game after halftime the week before as a third string. So, yeah, well, it's a different mindset. These guys like each other. Mike Evans gets his money, and everybody was happy.
So he was super pouty on that. Like, you get that picture of him sitting on the bench and just like,
I'm sure Welsh would have been like, don't worry about it.
You don't think the organization would be like, Mike, we're going to pay it to you. I know what you're saying.
Are you serious?
No, I would not.
Look
I'm
going
to
to
tell you this right now.
Look at Rowdy Tellez in baseball, right? The owners don't care. They squeeze the quarter to the eagle, you know what. So, like,
I'm going to give you a reference here. Rowdy Tellez is not going to go down as the greatest pirate of all time. I would let this ruin my relationship with the Bucs. If I became 5 yards short, I missed time, I did all this, and they didn't pay me, I would hold it against the team. You might hurt your future relationship with this, or I guarantee you they were paying that out regardless if he hit it or not. There's no way they're not giving him those millions of dollars for 5 yards. No way.
First of all, they wouldn't. If he didn't get it, they wouldn't pay it. Like that 100%. They would not pay it. But
it's a lot of money, $3 million.
But it also like, if you're a free agent, do you want to go play for the Cowboys now or the Bucks? That's my question, right? Like, so everybody can say how dangerous it was for a 5-yard pass and put your season on the line and all that stuff, but you're also now a destination. You know, Florida's already good for taxes and all that stuff for those guys making that amount of money. And now everyone sees the organization is willing to do things for their players while a place like Dallas is not.
That's a good point.
So, you know, I mean, I think it helps long term, and you get, you know, the whole team amped up for the playoffs doing that too. So I just think it was a smart move either way.
I do. I agree. You're just pouty.
Let's get on to a little bit of discussion about our 3-1-1 contest and touchdown calls for the upcoming week. So 3-1-1, locking it up. The winner is the Welsh. Congratulations to the Welsh 300-yard passer, 100-yard
undersold this
receiver and running back. Congratulations. Well, not underselling.
I don't know. Like the champion, put a crown graphic to
is Ben Stein announcing winners here? Like, congratulations to the Welsh.
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to get excited because I lost both of them. So
yeah, but I mean, like, congratulations to me. That's a pretty impressive win for a thing to do.
I just said I was your friend.
Who won the touchdown contest?
Well, almost me. Joe? I almost won the contest. I swept the draft, but Bogman got 2 of 3.
Almost counted, Welsh?
It's second place. No, Bogman, you were the winner. You won the touchdown contest. I did make it close at the end. I won 3-1-1. Most important thing here, Joe won nothing. Massive loser. Biggest loser on the planet.
Just started texting in the middle of that right there. He was so bad.
Yeah, like that's how much I care about it.
He was like, please delete this person.
The bus isn't here because it's snowing and I have to go pick her up. This is the real life problems of what's going on here. This is behind the scenes about it.
I would love snow. It is. I mean, this is first
says the guy
it's
who
65. I was in shorts this morning running and stuff like that. Like, I just would like some weather, like something.
Screw you. Okay, I was out there shoveling for an
That's
hour.
my biggest win.
And you know what happened? You know what happened? I came in to do 3 hours of shows, and now I look at the driveway, and it's all back again. So what the hell did I do that for? What was the point?
We don't have to shovel the heat out of our driveway. We're good.
Yeah, shovel the heat out of your driveway. So what we're gonna do for the playoffs? Congratulations to Bogman and Welsh. They're so fantastic and smart and wonderful. And they put crowns on their head. They won all the contests. I'm a big loser.
By the way,
with the L on my forehead.
Speaking of you being a loser. There was one of us that said there was no way Mike Evans was getting to his 1,000 yards after he came back. That was you, Joey.
That was me. I didn't think it was possible. 100%.
I said,
and he
they
really
got the Panthers. I said they got the Panthers twice.
And,
that's exactly how it worked. So.
You're 100% right. I didn't think he could do it. I thought it was a long shot, and he got there. You know,
this is a great segment, by the way. Joe's wrong. This is the best segment we've ever done. Joe's wrong. This is great.
Let's move forward to a new contest. We're going to do a draft for touchdowns for the playoffs. And because the big winner was Scott Bogman of the touchdown, a huge winner, enormous winner, the biggest winner there's ever been. Scott Bogman, you get to select a touchdown call.
I said, wow, this guy wins.
He's biggest winner. I've got an idea.
He never stops winning. All right,
I've got an idea. Well, hold on. I've got an idea. Let's make. My ideas are always good. My ideas are always good. Let's each get somebody we're playing for, and the winner of the contest is playing for a listener, and that listener is going to win a prize for next season.
No.
Now, I think this is a phenomenal idea. Joe, we just came off of Joe's wrong, so this is Welsh's right.
Where are you getting these prizes from? We're already giving away free things.
We're going to find... I will bet you...
You can't do this live in the show. Because what you're doing is... John has to go get more prizes, and he's all out of prize money.
No, we will do like how about a little gift certificate to the Fantasy Pro store and maybe a year membership of either Betting Pros or Fantasy Pros. Maybe we could do that. Live on the show. It's now locked in. And we will play for somebody. The decision is, do we pull them maybe from the YouTube or the Discord?
No, we pull them from the Discord. I'll play for Father Man.
We're just picking?
I'm just going to
I'm going to play for Stink Mangione then.
Stink Mangione is a good one. Look, Manliness is in the chat. I see a lot of people in the chat here. Boggs, is there somebody in particular that you've enjoyed here on the program being with us all year?
Yeah, Powerfold has been here for a while. I will play for Powerfold.
And then
Okay,
we
there
will
you go.
see if maybe we can play for someone in the YouTube as well to get you guys excited. Maybe we'll also play for you guys and give prizes away. It's fun to give prizes away. We just gave a Jackson Smith and Jigba helmet away. We're going to give more. So make sure on the YouTube, say you want us to play for you. And maybe, here you go. Say who you want to play for you. If you want Bogman, Welsh, or Joe in the chat, and then we'll pick someone for a prize. So do that in the YouTube.
Well, you're going to be in charge of this because I'm not doing it. So
I'm going to give away a signed Joe Piece of PF.
It's not Joe's
Fantasy
idea.
Black
He's
Book.
mad about it. Come on, Joe.
It's not mad about it, but like, where are these prizes coming from?
We're going to find it. How about an autographed black book from you for your winner?
It's for baseball, though. They might not like
seems
that.
football
doable.
one.
Well,
Football one.
A football one.
Football's
Okay,
coming
that-
around eventually,
I know.
isn't it?
So here we go. Welsh's big idea. Hey, Joe, why don't you give away some free stuff? That's Welsh's
I
big
love
idea
it.
at the end of it.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
What are you giving away, Welsh? Huh?
I'll
Some
give
hair
away
cream?
something.
Yeah, a little mousse.
My new
Jimmy
background.
Neutron? What do
I'll
you
give
got
away
there,
some
Jimmy
autograph
Neutron?
stuff. I'll give away
Yeah?
some great autograph stuff. Don't test me. Just
I'll
make
test
comments
you.
in the below who you
and
want.
in this corner, we have Mr. Clean. And
Who
in
you
this
want to
corner,
play
we have
for
Jimmy
you.
Neutron.
We will get prizes for you, and we'll talk about it next week. So just make sure you're commenting on the YouTube. Boom.
Let's do this
Engagement.
draft. For the
Engagement,
love
Joe.
of God,
Boom.
can we do the draft?
Let's
Bobby,
do the
will you
draft.
pick a
What's the order?
touchdown call, please?
All right. So, all right. I'm first. So I get to
You're
pick
first.
All
now
right.
first.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hope you pick all
I'll
the
take-
Ravens.
How about Saquon Barkley?
Saquon Barkley, that's an easy one. Put it in the sheet. Saquon Barkley goes 1 overall. Welsh, where are you going for your touchdown?
You know
call,
what?
your first pick?
The Steelers do stop him, but this is a slam Derrick Henry. Give me Derrick Henry at any time. So Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Thank you for that one. I know you couldn't take him against your Steelers. Steelers also kind of hold them down a little bit on that front. But Derrick Henry for me.
Right.
Joe, you get
Not
back
last
to
time.
back.
I know you guys done screwed up too, because I'm gonna take Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. How you doing? Let's go.
Those are good.
Lock
Those are good.
it up right there. Those two guys are getting in the end zone rushing touchdowns for sure. All right, so Allen and Hurts for me. I'm going with the QBs. You going with the RBs. Welsh, where are you going?
We're doing 3 rounds, right?
Yes,
Yep.
3 rounds.
Okay. Oh man, there's some well, I mean,
Oh, geez. Oh, wow.
Oh,
gee whiz,
fellas.
guy. You're on the clock. You got 10
I'm on the
seconds.
clock. I'm trying. God, good lord.
How
How about
Christian Watson? He just tore his ACL. Maybe he'll score.
Ooh, you're feisty today.
I am. I'm sour. You think I'd be in a better mood if
problem?
You
Mike
are
Vrabel's
kinda
gonna be my
feisty
head
today.
coach, but
Give me Bucky Irving, my boy Bucky Irving.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be Irving.
Number
for
1
you.
Bucky Irving fan on the planet.
I'm going to go
Bodman for 2.
with James Cook for 1.
I thought I was going to
Okay.
sneak him back. Good pick.
Nope.
Mm.
And I'm going to take Puka for the other one.
There you go, Puka Nakua. All right, go ahead, Welsh. One more for you, and then I close
Go
things
ahead.
out.
Last
Go
one. Go
ahead.
ahead.
All right. I'm not going to pick a Steeler, so that's going to be pretty easy. I don't think any touchdowns coming from there.
Not going to
Let's
pick any
go.
Niners either.
Sure not. Let's go. Well, we're going to have the same amount of touchdowns, Niners and Steelers. So let's go with Justin
see.
Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is my final one.
Jefferson.
Okay, Justin Jefferson, your final one. I'm going to go my
Bo
final pick.
Nix.
Mike Evans.
All quarterbacks.
Nope. Mike Evans. Mike Evans. There's where we're going here.
Ah.
You left
Doubted
Lamar.
him
Mike
for
Evans.
1,000 yards, but he'll score a touchdown.
We left
So-
Lamar on the table, by the way. I thought about taking him.
Not
That's a
gonna score a
pretty big
touchdown.
pick.
Yeah, but you know what? Like that's not quite the same as it used to be. You know, with Derrick Henry there now, things are a little different in those Baltimore streets.
The
Now
YouTube-
look,
Yeah.
if you're going to be wagering this weekend, wager responsibly, but also make sure you're using the tools at Betting Pros. So download the BP app and you get the 1-month BP premium right after. Okay, you download that bad boy, boom, it pops up for you. The special offer using the promo code FP free, you get the premium tools for 30 days for free. So you have no excuses. You got college football playoffs, NFL playoffs, NBA, NHL. It's all coming down for you. Same game parlay too, the prop bet analyzer, prize picks, everything is in there. The prop bet cheat sheet. So don't miss out. Download the BP app. Use the promo code again, FP free, to get the 30 free days. Go ahead, Welsh. What did you have?
Oh, that'll be a prize we'll give away. We'll give away a 30-day free on Betting Pros.
Yeah,
There's a prize.
I'm,
but
I'm Welsh. I like to give away other people's things. You want to give away this chair I'm sitting on while you're at it?
maybe there's you got some nice bobbleheads behind you. But hey, the YouTube crowd, they get a little bit of an extra advantage. You guys know who we pick, so now you guys can go in, say who you want to join, and I think then it'll be fun. We'll find some prize.
There you go.
Give away
This
something,
episode of
Joey.
Welsh spends your money, everybody. We'll get back to that.
Joe will do a personal call. He'll do your voicemail message. That's what he's going to do. So
I'll be
call
happy to
someone
do
for you.
voicemail messages. I'll be happy to do cameos for people you don't like in your
Yeah,
league,
do a
where I
cameo.
yell and scream at them, or I embarrass them about things. That I'll 100% do. All right, what's trending? And then we'll end on this. The Titans ended up with the #1 overall pick. Scott Bogman, who was the #1 overall pick for the Tennessee Titans in the 2025 NFL Draft?
Who is it or who should it be? Because these are two different.
You could do
questions.
both. I'll let you
let's
do
hear
both.
both.
Should be Travis Hunter, but it's going to be Cam Ward.
Cam Ward will be the guy. Do you agree with that, Welsh?
I mean, there's a little part of me that thinks like Shador might push himself up. And by the way, there could be something where a team trades up to 1 and takes a guy like Shador. But there's a report out there as well that multiple GMs are saying they don't even have first round grades on Shador. So I think that one's kind of broken up. I think Cam and Shador are kind of 1A, 1B. I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't a Travis Hunter. If someone went in another direction, I'm not sure the Titans, do they want to go with Cam Ward on that one? I mean, from a project standpoint, seems like a lot of quarterback projects that are out there, but I don't know. I think here's a better one. I don't think the Titans make the first overall pick. I think it's going to be traded.
I do. I don't think Will Levis is the answer for them, and I think you don't.
Yeah,
get
but
the
you
#1
could
pick
trade
very
down.
often.
You could trade down and
Yeah,
still
but-
get a great quarterback. Well,
Maybe
They should
the
back
quarter-
up the
maybe
Brinks
depends.
truck for Sam Darnold. That's what they should do.
And
and
maybe
then
they
take
will. And
whoever
maybe
the
that's the
DPA
plan.
is.
And you know what? If you have the #1 pick, then take the best offensive lineman and rebuild your organization if that's what you're going to do. So we'll see. Obviously, here on Fantasy Pros, we're going to have a lot of mock drafts. And of course, Bogman doing the Dynasty show. So make sure you stick around for more of that discussion here as the college football season comes to an end. But the NFL playoffs are just beginning here. And we'll be back again next week with more touchdown calls, more fun, more fallout. Maybe more coaches will get fired between now and then. Who knows? And Welsh is going to give away more free stuff. That I do know. Might be yours, might be Bogman's, might be mine. We'll see next week who he gives away. This
Prize
is like the
guy.
Oprah Winfrey of Fantasy Pros.
He
That'll
gave
do
away
it for
a
us.
stay at my apartment to Jake Seeley before.
I did. Yeah, I did.
So
stay?
this
Is
is
that
not
what
the
you said?
first time. A stay. Like he
Oh, a
just said,
stay.
just
Oh.
stay with Bogman, Jake.
Yeah,
And he
Sealy
did.
stayed there for like 4 days. He stayed there for like 4 days. I was just like, go stay with Bogman. Don't get a hotel. Yeah,
Yeah.
I give away stuff. I'm a nice guy. Like,
Jake
yeah,
Sealy
get it.
sleeping on the couch with all the cats. It was a
Oh,
beautiful thing.
think about the complaining and then triple that. Exactly what it was.
Can't even begin. Can't even begin. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Bogman and Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy the wild card weekend.